Today we're going to be talking about 5 tips to increase the amount of fun you can give your bard players at your table as a DM. Tip number 1 is bards are incredibly hungry for spells, so that makes a good gift to give as a DM. Personally, I really love to give high flavor spells that a bard would never take because they only have so few spell selections. Something like Gift of Gab is the perfect example. It's a very low power spell, so if they're optimizing their character, they're never going to pick it up. But you kind of wish they would, because it's an incredibly high flavor spell that can create really funny moments and just be a lot of fun roleplay. Those are the kind of spells I'm personally looking to give my bards for free. But whatever your spell philosophy is, I promise you your bard is going to appreciate more spells. Identify and encourage awesome inspiration flavor and unique. They're inspiring their teammates. How? What does that look like? Are they playing them music? Are they giving them compliments? Are they doing something magical? Does it have a visual appearance when they do it, or is it just encouraging their spirits? What does it look like? Once you identify that with your player, take some time to really get into the flavor of that moment. Maybe even write down your own personal flavor text so that when they say, I encourage the barbarian, you have this cool little moment where you can say that the rhythms of your music bolster the soul of their friend, and their friend feels this, and this. I think that extra step you go will make the bard feel really, really cool. Tip number 3 is give them meaningful moments to use their art form. Let's say that their art form is music. Pretty typical for a bard. Mostly what's going to happen, or most of what I've seen, is that the bard brings forward those moments to play their music. They say, I'm at the tavern, can I play my music to get a free room? Sure, go ahead and give it a try. But something I would recommend as a DM is to actually have moments in world that bring it out of them. Instead of them having to initiate, you initiate for them. Maybe there's a battle of the bands and the winner gets a really cool magical item for bards. That has a significant outcome to using that skill. I really like that. Maybe there's a group of orphans that want a story, and maybe if your character is a storyteller, by telling them a story, they can develop a relationship, and now these orphans can feed your party information that they're hearing off the streets. Things like that. Make their art form significant. Bottom line. Tip number 4 is if you have a new bard on your hands, be very careful about the amount of pressure you're delivering to them as a DM. Positioning for a bard in those early levels is so important, and a new player probably doesn't know that. They will probably position poorly. And it's okay to punish it. It's okay to throw some warning shots, but don't get too aggressive. You could easily kill off your bard, and if they're brand new, that's not going to feel very good. So give them some leeway to learn to adjust. Give them those warning shots, teach them that hey, it can get scary up here, but at the same time, pull your punches when they're beginners. If you have really experienced bard, murder him. Tip number 5 is balance out how powerful charisma rolls are. We want charisma rolls to be very, very powerful, but not all the time. So having a silver tongue sometimes can get people out of a ton of situations, and it can feel like it's just the I win button. We don't want that. We want it to feel powerful and significant and have impact without just breaking the world. Sometimes there are people who can't be convinced of things. Sometimes there are people who just want to watch the world burn. But on the flip side, we need to balance out those moments with talking to the king, getting the armies, having really impactful moments where the bard's face skills really do change the campaign. Now, hopefully with these 5 tips, your bard will be having a blast at the table, but what I want to hear from you guys is what tips you would give to the community to say, hey, this is really fun to experience as a bard. If you want to show support to the channel, as well as get some awesome benefits, check out our Patreon. But with that, my friends, I hope you have yourselves an incredible day, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you then.